What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 110 of the Rise to Glory here with Gibraltar Apex. And today I have for you guys the Europa League second knockout round against Napoli. We're going to be starting off today with an away leg before moving to the Space Park, hoping to close out this result. Of course, if you missed last episode, minor spoilers, I guess, by telling you that we are playing Napoli today. It was against Olympiacos. The live commentary itself was very entertaining, and I recommend you check it out. And yeah, without further ado, we're going to get kind of just straight into today's game. Just two league games since the last episode. You can see two convincing wins, 9-0 and 7-0. Anyway, not going to be easy this. Taking on Napoli, of course, away from home to begin with. I kind of feel like that is a minor advantage, perhaps. I guess it's an advantage if we can get a few key away goals. If we don't, suddenly, perhaps, I'll look at it somewhat differently and see it as a disadvantage. In terms of the team for today's game, we're going to go with Young in goal, of course. He was an absolute hero in the previous round. The defence is going to be made up of Villalba, Mustafa, Frigier and Graphite. In midfield, we go with Smith, Taco, Bouchard and Mendes. And up front, we go with Van Dijk and Tuzon. On the bench, we've got a selection of players, fairly strong. A little bit of, I guess, news is something to be aware of is the fact that Jason Hall is out for a number of months with a torn calf muscle. Because of my squad registration, we are very much lacking left backs and right backs all of a sudden. Unfortunately for us, you can see here, Taxi is not registered, or Kara, as I believe we at one point we're going to nickname him, the Greek player who came in as a backup. We have him as a left back, but he's not registered. Hernan Sanchez is our normal right back. He's not registered. So yeah, if we get an injury to a fullback, might be in trouble. Might be in trouble. I'm just going to check. I don't think any of our centre-backs can play fullback either. So it will be very much a case of trying to shoehorn a player kind of into that wide fullback position, which, I mean, hopefully it won't come to it because that could be a problem. You can see none of our centre-backs can play at a fullback position who are registered. So really, Graphite and Villalba got to kind of tread a careful line. And hopefully, not get sent off and hold their discipline well here. Either way, let's get into today's game. We're going to stick with the 4-4-2 attack. Let's see what we can do today. Napoli going to be the opposition. Never an easy game. Looking at their system, they're going with a 4-2-3-1. A big gap in their midfield. Hoping we might be able to exploit that. Although a very attacking system and one that might cause us some trouble. Either way, just going to try and encourage the players, tell them that no one expects us to get a result. Good motivational team talk. The players are loving it. I'm loving it. Hopefully we can get a performance to match here in the first leg, of course. As I mentioned, away goal is going to be really crucial here and never going to be easy against the Serie A champions as of last year, of course. They got knocked out in the Champions League this year, like we did, finishing third in their group. Anyway, let's see what we can do. Bit of pressure on our shoulders. I feel like having broken the European curse that we've been under last year, there's an air of expectation that hopefully we can go a little bit further in this competition, albeit against a very tough opposition. You know, I'm kind of going into this game, Napoli not unbeatable, but definitely the far and away the favourites of this game. And that is an insane goal by Buondono. I'm going to assume that's how you say his name. It's an unreal goal. I mean, tab out of your FMs, watch this in 3D. I mean, it's a moment of quality in the first 15 minutes, which could cause us some problems. He gets the ball out wide, cuts inside, perhaps a little bit disappointing defensively to let him get his shot away, but a thunderbolt of a finish. And Napoli do take an early lead in this game, and of course, with us now being a goal down, getting just one away goal if we can is going to be absolutely crucial. Looking at the stats in this game, with half an hour gone, not a lot of chances either way. Been a pretty tame game. Hoping that we can, you know, find a way into this game as Taquez wins the ball. Mendes, options on ahead. Big ball over but intercepted, and now Napoli going to build again from the back. Getting the men behind the ball though quite nicely, although being opened up in the midfield, that is going to be a problem. Ball out wide with Buondono, who got the first goal. Cuts inside Villalba with a needless foul, really. There was a man on the inside covering. And Napoli now going to have a chance from the spot to score. Of course, we gave away a penalty in the last leg. Can we see something similar today? But can we save it again? Young, he goes the right way, but it's not enough. Napoli taking a 2-0 lead here. And I don't want to say this could be the end of our kind of domestic, or not domestic, I guess it's domestic, but our domestic dream of doing something in Europe this year. I feel like we've got to try and match now what we're seeing from Napoli. So I'm going to make a change, and I'm going to make a very early change here, and it might be a little bit controversial. But I'm going to change our wide men to inside forwards on attack. And we're going to go for it. I feel like we've got to go for it at this point. I know it's quite early to be saying that, but I feel like we've got to try and make something happen here. I'll tell you what, let's go with trying to play players in their preferred roles. I think that's going to be the way to go here. We'll go for something like this, I think. A fairly mixed system. Going to try and play a little bit asymmetric. I feel like the 4-4-2 perhaps a little bit too flat against this quite dynamic Napoli kind of 4-2-3-1 formation. In this game, though, there hasn't been that many chances. It's been a pretty tight game, and if we can get into half-time at 2-0, I think there's hope that we can turn it around and try and get ourselves into a slightly better position going into the second leg. Going to tell the players that was absolutely terrible. Want to get them fired up. Paul Smith on a yellow card. He's got to be a little bit careful. Looking at the stats of this game, perhaps a little bit unlucky. We've had that absolute screamer scored against us. And then, of course, the penalty. We have time, though, to fight back into this. What can Tuzon do? It's with Mendes. Edge of the box. Can he get a ball into the box? Can he cross it? He beats his man. Crosses it. Paul Smith at the back post. Let's go. The change working. Paul Smith with his 23rd goal of the season. Not bad for the left midfielder. Mendes with a fantastic assist though. Beats his man. Beats another man. And he just pulls across a dreamy ball. It's such a good pass. And Smith, he's had his issues with finishing in the past, but he wasn't going to miss that one there. Makes it 2-1. An ideal start to the second half here. And yeah, we've just got to keep going. I talked about how I didn't want to get an injury, and we have got an injury now. That's going to cause us some problems. I'm going to bring in Calvo to play at right back. I think he's the best option we've got there, really. I guess the other option would be to... In fact, let's do the other option. I'm going to move Villalba out to right back, and then I'm going to move Nigel Howell in at full back for us. He's not a natural full back, Nigel Howell. He's a left midfielder. But today he's going to have to take a defensive role, a defensive duty, and try and do it well for us. Unfortunately, I identified before this game the fullback area. Really a problem for us. That damage heel, I'm hoping not too serious or an injury, because Graphite, a massive player for us, particularly at right back. The attacking options he gives us going forward, absolutely huge, but unfortunately we're going to be without him for the rest of this game. And well, time in this game ticking away. 10 minutes left. You'd have to say it's been a game of few chances. And it has been a tight game. We have one last change to make. I'm going to make it. Tuzon had a disappointing game today. We're going to bring in Nick Austin, the young Australian. Really been attracting some interest from the likes of Porto and stuff. I'm going to just give him an opportunity here for the last 5. It doesn't look like he's going to make a lot of it. And in fact, that is going to be all I imagine for this first leg. It's going to finish 2-1. We've given ourselves a chance with that away goal with the fight back. Still a little bit disappointing to concede 2 goals. It's left us in a little bit of a tricky situation. But that said, we're capable of beating anyone on our day. We showed against Olympiacos we're capable of going into a second leg down a goal. Frigier, get away the ball. Blow the full-time whistle, please, ref. I feel like this has been a really long end-of-game highlight. It has been. For a second, I thought Napoli were going to score, and I was talking too prematurely. But no, 2-1. It's an okay result. It gives us something to try and work with. Of course, we had a similar situation in the previous kind of round, although on that night we, of course, had scored 2 away goals. Today, just the 1, which leads us in a little bit of a precarious situation going into the second leg because, well, should we concede 2, we're going to be in a world of hurt. Either way, guys, we want to jump into the next game. I will see you guys in just a second. And yeah, we're going to be taking on Napoli at the Space Park. Okay guys, so we are back here for the second leg. You join me as I'm sat trying to work out how I'm going to sort my team for this game. Of course, the injury to Graphite going to cause us some problems. Bouchard also out suspended. And so we've had to make a few changes. What I've ended up doing is I've moved Taco, or Taquez, from centre defence in mid to right back. He's a good right back, he can play there. Perhaps not the best going forward, definitely not as good as Graphite going forward, but still a very adequate player. It's a shame he's only kind of awkward in the right back position, but he is the best player we have to play there. And as a result, that freed up a position in centre mid, where we've brought in Calvo. Now, I signed this guy as a centre-back, but I think he can do a very good job for us today as just an intelligent centre kind of mid. We needed to play well, we need a good defensive player, and I think it's a role that, whilst perhaps he doesn't have all the technical aspects to play, in terms of his mentals, his physicals, he's very well suited to doing this role, and it's something that we're going to look for him to kind of do today, and we need him to do a good job if he can in the centre of midfield for us. Because Bouchard's also out suspended, that's opened up a spot. I've moved JJ into the team, the Ivorian. Going to give him a chance there. You can see the rest of the team relatively unchanged. On the bench, we've got Nick Austin and Juan Carlos up front. We've got Daniel Martinez, Nigel Howell and Gennari as potential midfielder options. And we've got Leo Palmer and Rodrigo Romero as centre-back options if we need them. Anyway, let's get into this second leg. Of course, the first leg, a 2-1 away defeat. Looks like Napoli might line up the same way as they did in the first tie. Makes me a little bit nervous to continue playing the 4-4-2. I was quite impressed with how well our 4-2-3-1 went in the second half of the last game. That said, I think we're going to stick with what we know. It's going to be a very different game to get day. You know, we've got the home fans behind us. We're at the Space Park. And really, I'm just hoping for a fantastic performance from the players if we can get that today. That is the main thing. To do ourselves proud here in the second round of the Europa League. Of course, the winner of this game will make their way to the quarterfinals of the competition. So, in this game, what is my game plan? Well, I could try and play for the clean sheet, but in all honesty, that's going to be a tough ask, I think, across 90 minutes. So really, I think our best bet to get anything from this game is to try and score more than 2. If we can get 2 goals, we give ourselves a chance, and that's got to be kind of the aim. I feel like we've got to outscore Napoli here and probably beat them by a 2-goal margin, really. Either way, looking at the stats early on, Napoli edge in possession, but neither team having a ton of chances, and, well, at the moment at least, it's going to be 0-0 with not a lot happening. Half an hour now gone. The longer this game goes on, of course, the more desperate we get. Looking at the defence, a lot of bookings there. That's somewhat concerning. Perhaps a sign of the amount of pressure Napoli are putting on our side. We are winning a lot of the tackles, though, that are going in. Pass completion's been a little bit underwhelming. But that said, it looks like we might just make it to half-time with the score all level. And to be honest, that is not a bad start to the half. It gives us a position now. Oh, I say that. There might be a chance here. JJ Taquez, ball in cross. Hits the crossbar. Smith, can you do anything? He can't. And well, we had a chance there for a very late goal in the second half. We might still have a chance in the set piece. JJ dispossessed. First time ball in. Basso in goal. Going to collect it for Napoli there. So unfortunately for us, going to stay at 0-0. I'm going to tell the players to show me something else. I want to get them fired up. I want to try and encourage our strikers as well. Look at the team. It's not like no one's performing. It's not like everyone's performing, you know, well. We've definitely got some bad performances in there. I think we're going to change the system now. We've given it 10 minutes at the start of the second half. It's not really worked for us. Let's try and make something happen. Van Dijk on a pretty poor game. I think we'll take him off. We'll stick Martinez, I think, at centre attacking mid. I'm just thinking about if there's anything else I can do, really. I feel like this is perhaps going to be the best option. Although part of me wants to move Mendes out of the team. Can JJ play centre attacking mid? Not really. Calvo can't play there. We are a little bit bare in our squad at the moment with Bouchard out injured. We could bring Gennari in. I think that's what we'll do. We'll go with this as the team. So JJ playing somewhat out of position. We'll play him on support. I could play him as another centre mid, I guess. I mean, I could go with something like that. I'm just worried it leaves us a little bit open at the back. But at the same time, that might be the best option for us. So tricky. It's games like this, you know, that really kind of can decide seasons for you. And it's about making the right decision now in this game. I'll tell you what, we're going to go for this. We're going to go... And I feel like although there's still, you know, time in this game, there's 35 minutes, I feel like we still need to play it on the front foot if we can. And that is what we are going to try and do in this game. We're going to try, really, and, well, we've got to throw some men forward. We've got to go on the attack. We've got to try and make something happen. And that's what we're going to try and do with the team here. I'm going to move Martinez to an inside forward. I think he's done a good job there for us in the past in that role. But Alba's going to go on attacking. Taquez is a very good player going forward. Unfortunately for us, he can't really play wing back, so I think I've got to stick with him at right back. But we'll play him as a full back on attack, as we are with Villalba. I think this is the team we're going to go with. We've got to try and commit some men forward. We've got to try and make some magic happen. We're going to make a double change and go a lot more attacking for the last 35 minutes. Perhaps making this change a little bit sooner than you might expect. But I want to try and give us as much time in this game to at least try and get our noses ahead. I'd rather score sooner than be trying to cling on than kind of leave it too late with this attacking intent. Looking at the stats though, Napoli are dominating this game, it's fair to say. It's been a disappointing performance by us so far. I'm going to ask the players to show some passion. There's 20 minutes left in this game. There's still time, but well, chances have been few and far between in the second leg. And well, there might be one here. And if it goes Napoli's way, suddenly we need 2 goals. That said, Smith going in with a tackle, lunges in it. It's going to be a red card as well. Further compounding our misery. Paul Smith, the captain, he's lost his head in a moment where he simply can't afford to do that. We are going to be down a man. And we are in trouble all of a sudden. I'm going to move Nigel Howell into the side. At this point, we've got to go on the attack. We've got to try and make something happen. There is no point now in sitting back defensively. We've got to try and make something of what's left of this game. And I think that's what we're going to try and do here. I'm going to move Takes to right wing back. I know he can't play there, but ultimately we've just got to try and make something happen. I think this is perhaps our best bet. Got to commit men forward. Got to go on the attack. Got to throw men forward now. We have 13 minutes and we're down a man. We're basically looking for one big ball over the top and a lot of luck to go our way. We are going to be leaving ourselves open at the back here, and ultimately it doesn't even look like there's going to be any chances. Napoli with a chance here, having the ball at the edge of our box. A goal here and it's game over. Villalba, please don't get sent off. Ball into the box. They shoot. Young with a nice save, but with 3 minutes left, you only think it's going to really stop the inevitable, unfortunately for us. The header comes in as well. Young holds on to it again. But this has been a game to forget. We've just not turned up in today's game. It's been disappointing from start to finish, really. The red card for Paul Smith really hurt our plans, trying to go for that late winner. And ultimately, Napoli have perhaps displayed their greater class over the two legs, as they do now score the second goal of the night for them. Or sorry, the first goal of the night for them. It will make it a 2-goal lead for them. And, it's 3-1 now. It's disappointing. And it's hard to take. It's hard to take. It's been another okay year in Europe, but really we want to be doing a little bit better than this. But we're taking baby steps. We're slowly building up. Of course, the coefficient of the nation has risen for next year. So we will have 2 Champions League spots. The Gibraltar Lions with a chance there, which could be interesting to keep an eye out on. And, of course, we will also have 3 teams in the Europa League. But regardless, we've been given a masterclass here. It is now 2 goals ahead for Napoli on the night. They have been the better team. They've shown it now on the scoreline. It's taken them 89 minutes to make it count, and suddenly they've scored 2 to really make it count. And, you can see from our fans, they look down and out. It's going to be another season of what-ifs and perhaps a little bit of disappointment with how we've done in Europe. That said, still taking a step forward here. We've still progressed a little bit further than we have on previous occasions, and hopefully we can build from this, we can learn from this, and come back stronger next year. Either way, hopefully you guys did enjoy this episode against Napoli. Of course, next episode will be 111. It will be an end-of-season live com. Hopefully I'll see you guys for that one. If you've enjoyed this video, as I already mentioned, leave a like. Got any comments, leave them down below. And other than that, it is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.